of Jacob, the returning home, and the meeting with Esau and the sons of Jacob, taken from Genesis chapter 29 to 38. Now, while living with his uncle Laban, Jacob fell in love with his youngest daughter Rachel, and you can see a depiction of this here behind me. His youngest daughter Rachel, and asked him to marry her. As a ransom, he promised to work for him as a cattle breeder for 7 years. But on the wedding night, Laban introduced the ugly eldest daughter Leah to him, saying that according to tradition, the eldest daughter should be married first, and that Jacob should work for Rachel another 7 years. Jacob realized that it was the punishment for the story of his birthright, and he agreed. Then Laban persuaded him to work for another 6 years to reward him with flocks. At that time, cattle was used instead of money. During these 20 years, Jacob had 11 sons, 6 from Leah, 4 from 2 concubines, and 1 Joseph from Rachel, who remained barren for a long time. His cattle also greatly multiplied, so that Laban's family became very jealous of Jacob, and fearing that he would be deceived again, Jacob, with God's blessing, secretly left Haran at night with his family and his cattle. And when Laban learned of this, he gave chase to punish Jacob and take away his estate. But having received a strict warning from God, he limited himself to reproaches. However, he accused Jacob of stealing figurines of pagan gods. Rachel was the one who took them with her, as they symbolized the rights to inheritance. The statuettes, teraphim, were well hidden, so they were not found. Laban and Jacob reconciled, and each went to his home. But before entering the promised land, Jacob ordered the teraphim, statuettes, to be buried so that there would be no worship of idols. There was another danger ahead for Jacob, a meeting with Esau, who did not forgive his brother's offense and advanced to meet him with warriors. The night before the meeting, the Lord appeared to Jacob as a man and fought with him, wrestled with him until morning. The Lord did not overcome him, but damaged the vein of his thigh. At dawn, then he blessed Jacob and gave him a new name, Israel, fighting with God or wrestling with God, because you have prevailed with God and shall be mighty with men. But he refused to tell his name. He will tell his name only to the great saint Moses. So in the morning, Jacob, encouraged with humility and gifts, went to meet his brother Esau. When Esau saw him, he was touched and embraced him. The brothers reconciled, and Esau returned to his city of Edom, and Jacob went to his father to the oak grove of Mamre. While camping in Shechem, the eldest sons of Jacob showed terrible cruelty, killing all the men of the city in revenge for the rape of their sister. Fearing the revenge of the neighbors, Jacob's family had to flee to Bethel. On the way, Rachel gave birth to his last 12th son, Benjamin, and she herself died in childbirth. When Jacob came to his father, he no longer found his mother alive. Soon Isaac also died at the age of 180. Jacob and Esau buried him in the cave with Abraham. Of the 12 children of Jacob who became the ancestors of the 12 tribes of Israel, that is to say, the entire Israeli people, we will single out the 2 children of the meek Leah, Levi and Judah. The descendants of Levi under Moses became the Levitical clergymen. And from the tribe of Judah, through Tamar, came Joseph, the betrothed, and the Virgin Mary, that is to say, Jesus Christ. Tamar was Judah's widowed daughter-in-law. According to the tradition of the Levirate, she was supposed to marry her husband's brother, Onan, but Onan did not want a child from her, spilling his seed on the ground, for which God killed him. Judas was afraid to marry his last son to her. Then she disguised herself as a harlot, went in to Judas, and conceived by him. Further events in the book of Genesis are connected with Joseph. Thank you for joining class number 13. Bye for now.